This is a Sandler training audiobook, produced and distributed by Gildan Media, a division of Recorded Books, in partnership with Sandler Training. Retail Success in an Online World: How to Compete and Win in the Amazon Era, by Rob Fishman, narrated by Stephen R. Thorne. We hope you enjoy this program. Forward. The retail landscape has, in recent years, been a scene of constant change, and not all of it welcome to stores facing increased competition from e-commerce giants like Amazon.com. Let's be honest, this sector has been evolving at an astonishingly rapid pace, and some of the shifts have been deeply disorienting to owners, managers, and employees of retail organizations who had grown used to transactional, low-information relationships with customers. Many of these retailers have now come to realize that not all the familiar retail models will survive. Accepting this much is a critical first step. Remaining within one's comfort zone is not a viable option in any economy, much less a dynamic one driven by technological change. Although it is certainly a mistake to long for the days when consumers didn't have online reviews to check, couldn't get their groceries delivered directly to their home, and couldn't order things like toothpaste, toilet paper, and other commodities online, that's not the only mistake you can make in assessing the future of the retail sector. It is an equally serious mistake to assume that today's buyers will not pay a premium for a superior retail shopping experience when it comes to the products that matter most to them, the upscale purchases where guidance from the so-called trusted advisor can make all the difference. Rob Fishman's book shows us persuasively that consumers can, do, and will continue to search out such retail experiences. The book is a game changer because it points retailers who are willing to move outside their personal and organizational comfort zones toward a future of great innovation, great relationships, and great promise. Using the groundbreaking work of David Sandler, the founder of our company, as its starting point, Retail Success in an Online World shows you exactly how to create mutually beneficial relationships with such buyers, and how to keep them coming back for more. David Mattson, President, CEO, Sandler Training. Introduction. The ever-changing retail environment. Change is mandatory. Growth is optional. The landscape of the retail business is rapidly changing. The age-old model of merchants serving customers in a traditional brick-and-mortar destination setting has been challenged and transformed. In addition to big box stores, many of which have dramatically expanded their product lines, there is ever-increasing competition for market share from digital media sources and online experiences. Now, more than ever, it seems that successful retailers have embraced a dual identity in their markets, including both local and regional, or even global experiences. Many retailers have discovered they need both an online presence and the opportunity to have human interaction for one-on-one guidance, the ability to touch and sample merchandise, and the experience of buying in person. There are many excellent books out there on online marketing, social media, and selling over the internet, but few address the modern retail experience. And among those, none do so from the unique Sandler perspective, one that draws on the work and legacy of the founder of the Sandler Selling System methodology, David Sandler. My goal for this book is to use Sandler's work to shed some light on the essentials of success in the human interaction side of the retail world, the part that separates successful retail businesses from those that struggle and fail to adapt. It comes down to the experience delivered by the people on the front line, by the retail selling professionals who actually meet and interact with customers. I wrote this book for them and for those who lead them. With the blizzard of changes facing the independent retail sales professional in the current wired environment, whether that professional be someone on the front line, a business owner, or an executive, I believe it is imperative to start asking yourself the following questions. What makes your company different? Why would someone choose to shop with you instead of buying your product or service elsewhere, at a local competitor or online? How have you adapted to the way people compare, decide, and buy products today? What will prospective customers find when they do an online search on your store? What will the reviews say? How will you stack up against the competitors? How strong is your unique selling proposition? Does your sales process create an environment that makes it easy for people to buy? Does it make it easy for you to deliver a wow experience to both customers and prospects? What memorable things do you do to keep yourselves at the top of the customer's mind, even after they leave? How up-to-date is the physical environment of your retail location? Does it keep customers coming back and encourage them to send friends, relatives, and acquaintances? How proactive are you when it comes to promoting introductions to the friends, relatives, and acquaintances of your most loyal customers? In my 3 decades of work in retail selling, mine has been in the jewelry business, I have seen countless changes in the sector. I have helped clients adapt to what might be called the post-Amazon retail landscape. I have seen many businesses that flourished in earlier years fail to adapt, and I have watched as many once dominant enterprises lose significant market share or close their doors forever. My job with this book is to keep your business from becoming one of them. Adapting effectively to the rapidly changing environment in which a successful retail business now operates means taking a far more proactive approach than what worked in years past. Simply setting up a unique or an expansive product line, designing some print ads, and launching a website or social media presence isn't enough anymore. You must learn to think differently about the processes by which customers show up in the first place, and you qualify and close those customers. Most of the retail giants who have fallen failed for the simple reason that they didn't change their way of thinking. Specifically, they didn't set up and follow a clear selling process, which is essential to surviving and thriving in the current retail environment. You can do it differently. On a positive note, there are many retailers in today's market who are doing extremely well, despite outside pressures and challenges. What are their secrets to success? One thing that I have noticed is that these companies are committed to exceeding customer expectations, not just meeting them. The critical priority is improving the customer experience. You need a process in place for doing that. From inventory tracking to customer retention management software, from computer-aided design and modeling to online engagement with customers and prospective customers via interactive digital platforms like Yelp and Angie's List, where personal shopping experiences can be easily shared with the world, there are now a whole lot of different tools at buyers' and sellers' disposal. The real question is, how do you build these valuable tools into a repeatable process for your retail business? A process that exceeds customer expectations while making it as easy as possible for the consumer to do business with you. How do you create and maintain a physical environment that attracts customers, ensuring a positive experience they will want to share with those around them? Many retailers have wholeheartedly embraced technological change while not paying attention to how technology is vital to running a successful enterprise, such as the customer experience and the development of a strong sales process and culture. These are essential issues, whether you're managing multiple stores or an individual boutique-like enterprise. The crossroads of technology and its influence has created an opportunity for close evaluation of your strengths and weaknesses, followed by careful reflection and a proactive plan to make changes necessary for success. Opportunities for growth include the online shopping experience, social media, and websites providing feedback, endorsements, and recommendations from your customers and clients, happy and otherwise. How do you not only survive, but thrive in this dynamic, constantly changing business environment? How do you compete with the online experience, which consistently promotes ease of use, simplicity, unconditional guarantees, and speedy delivery? How can you more effectively maintain, if not increase, your share of the market? How do you leverage your strengths and provide a customer experience that exceeds expectations? One answer: by identifying a process that dramatically enhances the engagement and experience of your customer. This means doing more than learning a lot of cool new selling techniques, although I will certainly be sharing a lot of those with you. It's time to take a top-down, comprehensive look at the entire retail selling process itself. It's more than just knowing what to say and when to say it. A successful sales process lies on a solid foundation of behavioral change, along with the right attitude or success mindset, and also the willingness to hone your skills in the application of advanced retail selling techniques. These concepts will be covered in depth in this book. Remember, change is mandatory. Growth is optional. 1. What is your retail sales process? Now, more than ever, the strength of a repeatable retail selling process has become a key differentiator for those operating in a more competitive marketplace. You must constantly ask yourself these important questions. Why would someone choose to do business with me or my retail business? What process will make the buying decision easier and more intuitive for prospective customers? How do I help them self-discover their need to buy without putting pressure on them to buy? As you ponder your own process, I want you to keep in mind that retail sales is a profession to be proud of. It exists to create great memories and experiences for the willing buyer or customer. Retail gives you the opportunity to share your valuable expertise, to help guide people into making the best possible decisions, and to make choices that they are excited about and comfortable with, by drawing emotion into the mix and creating positive experiences that are often shared with others. Last but not least, retail gives you the ability to earn money while helping others. In other words, your retail sales process should help you have fun, improve people's lives, and make money. That's what I am about to share with you in this book. Done properly, an effective retail sales process is simply this: an ongoing series of authentic, real-time conversations in which the customer's expectations are consistently exceeded through a well-modeled, skillfully crafted series of consciously designed interactions that take into account basic operating principles of human behavior and psychology on both the buyer side and the seller side. And here's what a retail sales process isn't. It's not a script you memorize. It's not something you improvise either. It's not high pressure. It's not a default setting that connects to what was familiar or comfortable to you years ago. It's not based on win or lose thinking. Instead, it focuses on mutually beneficial outcomes. Note that while some of what follows is applicable to virtually any retail setting, the bulk of what I will be sharing with you is relevant to upscale consumer purchases that take place in a traditional brick-and-mortar retail environment. The WOW retail experience. A friend of mine, Marcy, recently told me of a recent WOW retail sales experience. She was fortunate enough to be the customer. Naturally, I wanted to know all of the details that helped create this experience for her. Marcy told me that she had been in the market for a hot tub. She had looked up several names of dealers and had proceeded to a particular store based on its convenient location and the positive online reviews it had received. For the entire time she was at this retail hot tub and spa outlet, she experienced no pressure whatsoever. Alexandra, the sales professional working with her at this store, answered Marcy's questions, learned about what she was interested in, asked pertinent questions about her lifestyle and background, and ultimately guided her to make the best possible decision based on what had been discussed. Marcy found her time with Alexandra to be easy and informative. She enjoyed herself and was excited when she finally made the purchase. When I asked Marcy to tell me a little more about Alexandra, her newly crowned favorite salesperson, her reply to me was that she felt Alexandra was one of the best salespeople she had ever worked with. Out of curiosity, I asked if it would be okay for me to get Alexandra's contact information and call her myself. Marcy agreed. I reached out. I wanted to get another sales professional's perspective on the retail selling environment and find out exactly what process had created this wow experience for my friend. It was clear to me that Alexandra had a process, and I was curious about what it was. From the 30,000-foot level, it was exactly the process I've already shared with you. It was an ongoing series of authentic real-time conversations in which Marcy's expectations were consistently exceeded through a well-modeled, skillfully crafted series of consciously designed interactions that took into account basic operating principles of human behavior and psychology. Let's break down in more detail how Alexandra pulled this off. In answer to my question, what creates wonderful experiences for your customers? Here is what Alexandra had to share. A welcoming attitude. Alexandra's belief is that people who walk into her store, whether they believe themselves to be browsing, buying, or even looking for help, are to be treated like human beings at all times. I have compared this concept to welcoming a guest into your home. This is the feeling to be conveyed to anyone walking into your store or retail establishment. Being competitive in a good way. Alexandra is proud of the fact that she is competitive by nature. She loves to win. This is what fuels her true desire to get out of bed every morning with a purpose. Writing down goals. Alexandra puts her goals into writing. Not just business goals, but goals for every part of her life, including financial, social, community, health and fitness, and so on. In my experience, this puts her in the elite as far as sales professionals go. I would estimate the top 3 to 5%. Yes, you read that correctly, 3 to 5%. Although some very successful individuals keep their goals in their head, Alexandra goes the extra mile by writing them down. Her motto is, if you see it, you can achieve it. Passion. Alexandra is truly passionate about what she sells. When I asked her what she sold, expecting to hear about all of the hot tub models, shapes, sizes, and newest technology, she simply said, I sell experiences and memories. This, to me, was a great answer. She's not just selling hot tubs. She's selling experiences and memories that happen to connect to hot tubs. Talk about an emotional connection with the buyer. This was one of the first things my friend noticed about Alexandra. Alexandra genuinely cares about the customer experience and the memories they create. She knows that the sale extends well beyond the transaction at the register. In addition to her passion about what she sells, Alexandra told me she is also very passionate about health and wellness, and about family as well. She said that many of her customers purchased their models from her because they wanted to spend more time with their teenage children, engage in more relaxing conversation, leave their cell phones out of reach of the tub, for the benefit of both the people and their cell phones, and enjoy more much-needed quality time with their family members. Placing a premium on emotionally powerful issues like family, quality time, and wellness moves Alexandra's discussions away from a simple, one-dimensional conversation about who has the lowest price. Curiosity. Alexandra is committed to finding out what people need. She has truly mastered the art of asking great questions, which helps her help her customers. Being cared for by these insightful questions from Alexandra lowers a buyer's defense walls and causes them to open up and enjoy the experience. Being approachable. Alexandra befriends everyone who walks into her store. Living the rule of people buy from people they like, she prefers to make friends with her customers. At the same time, she does not seek approval or validation from prospects or customers. Being interested. Alexandra shows authentic interest in the people she talks to. She lives Stephen R. Covey's famous rule from his book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. This level of person-to-person interest goes a long way in creating differentiation from the competition. Being okay with no. Alexandra knows she, her products, and the store she works for are not for everyone. She also knows not everyone is going to be qualified to be her customer. That is perfectly okay with her, and therein lies her success. She does not appear to be needy in any way. Although she would love to earn the business, she is not tied to this outcome emotionally. This eases any pressure a prospect might experience from other salespeople. Following through effectively. Alexandra is committed to professional follow-up. Once a customer leaves the store, she always sends a handwritten note, thanking them for their interest. In that note, she always includes a reference to something she learned about them during the sales process, such as an upcoming anniversary or the name of a teenage child. Asking for referrals. After installation of a hot tub, once the customer has had the opportunity to enjoy the new purchase, Alexandra circles back and asks how things are going. She also asks if her customer knows anyone else who is in the market. Word-of-mouth recommendations to the customer's friends, associates, and relatives has led to many other referrals and additional business. Although this sounds like a great idea, it amazes me how many retail professionals don't actually ask for introductions and referrals. A side note is in order here. Recently, I referred a friend who happened to be in the market for a hot tub to Alexandra. You can bet on the outcome. Another new customer for Alexandra. Why? Because my friend Marcy had had a great experience with her. Every experience that exceeds a customer's experience pays compound interest. What is a highly effective retail selling professional? The descriptions I just shared with you of what makes Alexandra so successful connect to some timeless success principles of retail selling. Alexandra is a professional. The following definition, I believe, summarizes the essence of highly effective retail sales professionals like her. Highly effective retail sales professionals create and support the self-discovery process, facilitate with integrity the uncovering of the prospect's needs and wants, facilitate action on those needs and wants. Let's take a closer look at the 3 elements of this definition. Highly effective retail sales professionals create and support the self-discovery process. Buyers have to discover things for themselves. Unlike the traditional model, which is all about telling, the most effective selling occurs when buyers are encouraged to draw their own conclusions. High-pressure tactics simply are not effective. This self-discovery process is critical to professional selling in the retail environment and everywhere else. To create and support self-discovery, the salesperson must foster an environment of mutual trust and openness. The absence of pressure and the salesperson's ability to ask effective questions are 2 critical factors that facilitate the self-discovery process. Recall that Alexandra never pressured my friend in any way. Highly effective retail sales professionals facilitate, with integrity, the uncovering of the prospect's needs and wants. Alexandra focused on supporting discussions about family and wellness to uncover powerful emotional gaps between where a prospect really was and where they wanted to be in life. This stands in stark contrast to most discussions with retail customers. All too often, the customer walks in fixated on one or two things, price and availability, say, and leaves the store without ever having been engaged by the salesperson on an emotional level about what's working and what isn't working in their world. Highly effective retail sales professionals facilitate action on those needs and wants. Alexandra applied zero pressure to my friend's buying experience, but when Marcy was ready to make a decision, Alexandra was there to guide her. Often, this is accomplished by means of a simple question such as, "How would you like me to help?" or "What would you like me to do now?" Other best practices for retail sales professionals. Alexandra exemplified a number of other best practices that I have seen in highly effective retail sales professionals. These best practices are worth understanding before moving into the main section of the book. I've summarized them briefly here. Have written goals in multiple areas. These include, but aren't limited to, sales goals. Also include business, financial, personal, health and fitness, community, spiritual, and so on. Alexandra wrote her goals down. Have you written yours down? What specifically do you hope to accomplish in the coming 3 months, 6 months, 12 months? Know and commit to the most important business goals. These include the building blocks of personal success: repeat business and referral business. Create and follow a proactive plan. Highly effective retail sales professionals don't simply wait for the next customer to walk in the door. You will see many of these champions involved in local networking groups and joining smaller groups of like-minded professionals dedicated to helping each other with referrals. Many of them are also members of local boards and charities. Have an overall positive outlook. Anyone in sales can tell you that it can be tough at times. This is a high-rejection business. Think-it-overs, stalls, get-back-to-yous, these are all part of the world of retail selling. Maintaining a mindset of opportunity is essential. Alexandra's outlook matched up with the classic formula SW, 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 SW. Some will, some won't. So what? Stop whining. Consciously adopting this mindset and rejecting the pessimism best exemplified by the donkey Eeyore in A. Milne's classic children's book Winnie the Pooh is one of the distinctions that separates superior retail sales professionals from everyone else. Take responsibility for outcomes. Highly effective retail sales professionals avoid the blame game, the habit of identifying as many external factors as possible that might be inhibiting sales, foot traffic, or yes answers. For instance, it is very slow, or the internet has taken a lot of business away. These professionals are open to learning from each and every challenge they encounter. They adjust their retail selling process accordingly. The result is steady, incremental, and consistent improvement. Personal responsibility is one of the paths to selling mastery. Cultivate self-confidence. Customers and prospects are more drawn to a retail salesperson who exudes confidence, not arrogance, in order to provide the information necessary to help suit individual needs and wants. One aspect of self-confidence is product or trade knowledge. Another is being conversant with store procedures, operations, and policies. Yet another is the certain knowledge that they do not need approval from their prospects and customers. Although it is nice to be liked, effective salespeople know that focusing too much on making friends can undercut the task at hand, which is to help the other person make a sound buying decision. Sales is not the place to get your emotional needs met. Source: David Sandler. Consistently control emotions. Highly effective
Sample complete. Ready to continue?